cmpradio.net. It's the station.
Welcome to cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester. Welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye. You are live and direct on a Thursday, the eve before Juneteenth, a now national federal holiday. Happy Juneteenth ? To everybody. I know everybody's saying, oh, what is Rich doing with these shades on in the middle of the studio? The sun ain't out. Why does he has these shades on? Because I'm about to throw some shade. And I can only do it the way that I need to do it and how I need to do it. And here's the reason why. Welcome to the wonderful world of Rich Blye. If you're tuning in, you know that my program is normally on a Monday. I've taken advantage of the opportunity along with owner, super producer, sound engineer, overall powerhouse, energizer buddy, CMP Bryce, for having me in on a Thursday to come in here and speak a little bit about the piece that I'm carefully trying to construct and keep together in the midst of a lot of BS. And that's a little bit tame for where I'm about to aim, but you have to understand that when you talk to this man, that this is about to be some real crucial and critical shit that I have to tell you. First, before I start with anything, I always want to give thanks to God for my life and for the blessings of life and the life of liberty, and health and the pursuit of happiness, and I thank him for all of his people on this planet that believe and move in the righteousness of the Lord. And I want to thank all of those who tune into this program and to all of the content creators that help support cmpradio.net. You are, the lights that we need to keep the power going. So, shout out to each and every one of you up and down our family here at cmpradio.net. Before I get into why we're here and to this big old mystery box right here, happy Juneteenth, everybody, ? And everybody keeps saying, why do you keep saying happy Juneteenth ? And, I'm going to question it. And there's no script with this right now. It's just going to come out the way that it needs to come out. I cannot let you see what's in my eyes as I'm going to observe so many events this weekend and how far my travels have come to bring awareness for Juneteenth and the direction that it's going. In all fairness, there are people who are telling me that I just need to stand down. And we're celebrating as a whole. But none of these motherfuckers did anything, bro. I can remember 7 years ago getting a call from you and saying, hey, bro, I've been seeing you, saw you on the news. I saw you, doing this, blah, blah, blah. Come up here to the radio station and let's talk about what you're doing. I know you're not Chester, but let's talk about what you're doing. And for a lot of people, if you don't understand 7 years of friendship, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Because I do choose my friends very carefully, but I keep my homies and my close partners close, and I'm always there with a phone call. And that's what I expect out of the people that I run with. You a phone call away for anything. And that's the type of people I run with. But I can't let you see what's in my eyes tonight, folks, because from what I've been seeing leading up to Juneteenth, it leaves a question mark for me right now. For me. And people say, well, Rich, why is it a question mark for you? You did so much and you did so much greatness. Blah, blah, blah. Let's start with this. Okay? Let's start with this. Now, we know that for anything, for any campaign, for a celebration, there is a source, a beacon, a symbol, a lightning rod, so to speak, in every and any culture of people. And typically, it starts with a flag. Throughout all of the centuries of mankind, they have rallied around a flag of some sort in their lifetime, pledged allegiance to it, wore it on their jacket, whatever. This is the Juneteenth flag. This is the Juneteenth flag. I am not going to debate anyone anymore about colors. I'm not going to debate anyone anymore about colors. Let me explain to you why. The formerly enslaved decided themselves to pick up the colors. Did you not see the movie Glory? That is a movie dictation of an actual true event of an actual man who actually picked up the American flag after being wounded at Fort Sumter and carried it back and said, I didn't let this flag hit the ground. Former slave with a belief of being free. A former slave with a belief that his future was predicated on a promise based upon a banner that did not support him, but he picked it up anyway. You got to have incredible faith in order to be that type of person, to give that type of honor, even in the face of your enemies. That means it's God-given. Stop arguing with me, please. You don't have the energy. You can't see what's behind my eyes, bro. Not today. Not this weekend. Do you know that Jupiter and Venus and Crescent Moon are in phase for an entire weekend? Do you understand what that means? Those celestial bodies are in sync. 362, love, intelligence, faith. Look up the ascending Jupiter. But it was actually during this time that the celestial bodies were in phase at this time during the period that they fought during this time. So the energy and the wavelength from the universe was upon us. Formerly enslaved. Formerly enslaved. The colors of Juneteenth with the star represents and pays respect to Texas, the state of Texas. Galveston specifically, you know the story. General Granger, June 19th, 1865, rolled into Galveston, Texas. You're free. But that wasn't it. People just think, oh, here's the news, and it just spread. No. Texas had to be surrounded by all black regiments and Navy and Marines. By this time, in the height of the war and the escalation of the violence in order to free a people, and the addition of formerly and free black people, advanced us not just in size, but in intelligence, reconnaissance. See, when you're in undiscovered territory during that time, this is not modern warfare, folks. This is why your claims of jubilation about what the color should be and the claims about what this should be about, you are highly erroneous and disrespectful. 250,000 slaves were whisked away from several slave states and taken into Texas to escape prosecution from the law, to continue slavery, and the black men had to go and free their own people. Stop playing in my face with the Abraham Lincoln story. Don't play in my face and give credit to someone who said that if I had it a different way, I would have never freed the slaves. What? Oh, you don't want to see what's behind my eyes. Because that's as far as the Republican Party goes when it goes to talking about Juneteenth. And the hypocrisy of you even saying anything right about now, GOP, don't make me laugh. Sit on a bench. Stay out of this one. You waited this long to try to hitch your wagon to something that you don't care about. Keep it moving. Juneteenth question mark? I question you. Don't get political. When you're at the next Juneteenth event that you go to tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, if they are making you fill out voters registration forms, kick the table over. You heard what I said. See, young people, you got to be highly revolutionary on this day. On this day, you got to understand that you couldn't read or write, so you should not be suppressed into a vote. And give these people what they want so they can wear a badge of freedom for one day and walk out of your community, because that's what they're going to come in here to do. Oh, if you want to remain free, are you registered to vote? Kick that table over. Kick it over. Make sure you tell them to get the fuck out of here, because they ain't got nothing to do with freedom. Don't let your politicians come in and tell you about how you should celebrate your day of freedom. And it ain't signing up to register to vote. At all. See, these old people got you gassed up. They got you in the slave story. Get out of it. You ain't slaves. Ain't none of you born after 1865 slaves. See, slavery ended. It has a date of start and it has a date of finish. And you're going to have these people tell you that you're from the ancestry of slavery. That's why you keep a slave mentality. Don't talk about freedom and then be a victim. You got to make a choice tomorrow. I've already made my choice. I chose freedom. Freedom. Now, Rich, I know the laws, Rich, the people, White supremacy is the foundation of America. Next. It is the bedrock of this country. Next. You don't have a chisel hard enough. You don't have enough dynamite. You don't have it. Get over it. But as you can see, our people have prospered despite white supremacy. If that wasn't a fact, why are we still here? Our people did more with less before Juneteenth. Why are we still here? Don't hit me in the head with hypocrisy tomorrow with the slave story when you have ancestors that birthed your black ass and made sure that you were here to be able to celebrate today, tomorrow, and this weekend. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. And I get so sick and tired of people telling their children that you're from the ancestor of slavery. But if all you got to do is go do a little research or go talk to your grandma and granny who's still living and ask to go see the old photos, and you go ahead and use all that AI enhanced shit that you do for other bullshit and go and find out where your real family is so you can stop repeating the slave story, just mimicking and minor burning what you hear these public officials are going to tell you over the weekend. You're not from the ancestry of slavery, children. And if you think that you're from the ancestry of slavery, then you go right on ahead. And all you're going to do is keep that corrupted gene going through your body and passing it off into your lineage and to your descendants until they are futurely ingrained thinking that this is the way because my great granddaddy said so. We were slaves. No, the fuck we weren't. My great grandfather was a free man. Yeah, he lived through Jim Crow. He survived that shit too. Yeah, he lived through segregation. He survived that shit too. He built a little empire, and yeah, right of eminent domain. The government came and took that too, but he was smart enough to save enough of an investment so that way I can sit to this day and say there's a piece of land that I can go sit in and graze that belongs in my lineage and my bloodline because somebody didn't give up in my family. You can't see through my eyes today. Happy Juneteenth ? I'm so sick and tired of everybody talking about Juneteenth in a way when you did not sit down with someone who is an authority for it to learn not only the history of it, but the implications that came after it. Shout out to my entire Upper Darby family. Not entire of Upper Darby. Let's get something straight. I did not say township. My Upper Darby family. You know who you are. The ones that came to the Juneteenth celebrations that I put on before people were celebrating Juneteenth, with the exception of Chester. Shout out to Chester, number one. Chester, number one. 15 years, Chester. 15 years, Chester. Shout out to you. Absolutely. But let's talk about the rest of these dingy ass Negroes. When we were talking about having community celebrations all across these counties, boroughs, townships, a lot of you dusty people sat back and said, go ahead, old head. Fuck out of here with that old head. We ain't trying to hear none of that old head. They ain't my colors. This ain't my country. You dusty Negroes. You don't even know your inheritance in your own land. And that's why these people treat you the way that they treat you. That's why they talk to you the way that they talk to you. Women, you too, you're not exempt. Y'all find it less honorable to be an American, but want to claim to be black in America and got rights. Who you talking to? You dusty Negroes are going to celebrate a holiday with no honor and no understanding. Well, let somebody come up and tell me that I got it wrong, or that I'm doing it wrong, or that it's meaningless. The star represents the state of Texas, Galveston, Texas. The red, white, and blue pays homage to this country, the place of our birth, America. The bend that you see represents the horizon, and the sunburst is us coming out of a dark period into a new age like a supernova. And the official flag, because you'll see a lot of fakes and jakes, the official flag absolutely has June 19th, 1865. So, like I said, it's your Freedom Day. You're welcome. Delaware County, Upper Darby Township, Collindale, Lansdowne, East Lansdowne, Milbourne, wherever else is being celebrated at. Fallcroft. I ain't forget about you, Fallcroft. See, Fallcroft has a history. And I was there in the first year when they did their first year of a Juneteenth celebration too. But you won't see those pictures. All you'll see is public officials. You watch Delaware County Council throw up some bullshit on a pole. Mr. Womack, Miss Taylor. These people absolutely threw bullshit on a flagpole with words and lettering like it was a flag. They hung a banner. And y'all clap for that. Bullshit. See, that's the problem, y'all. You want correct history. You want people to give it to you right. So you want to be tucked into bed. Let me give you a bedtime story. You ready for a bedtime story? During the Civil War, we had to go and kill people. We had to go through fields and march. And we had to slaughter human beings. We had to catch them unawares. We had to shoot them. We had to stab them. We had to hit them with rifle butts. Wherever we could stick a knife, we were quick with the blade. We punctured lungs, hearts, arteries, slit throats. What, you don't like violence? How can you not like violence when the 4th of July is all about that? Freedom, same story. Running out the redcoats and freedom from Britain, how they had to fight and the glory of battle and war and everything like that. But we sprung from the same cloth. Just the indigo version. See the hypocrisy? America 250 PA, Delco. See the hypocrisy of you? They're going to have a whole America 250 PA Delco for the 4th of July, but refuse to do anything with Juneteenth. And that's Upper Darby Township too. How terrible is that to know that you're a black person living in a black community and all you get is a celebration of no substance? That the people that's going to be doing the talking had nothing to do with it. The people that's going to be doing the most talking had nothing to do with it. Then they're going to sit up here and try to string it together and talk to you like you're dumb. And far, far away, and all of a sudden, instead of giving it to you straight. This is giving it to you straight. This is breaking it down to you at a reasonable level for you to understand where your freedoms come from. It comes from the man and woman that used to be beside you that took an oath and said, I will defend with my life this country, your rights, my rights, his rights, her rights, against any enemies, both foreign and or domestic. That means during the Civil War, in order for you to have Juneteenth, brother was fighting against brother, father against son. Complete division of this country. Not the little pseudo passive aggressive bullshit y'all got going on now with words across social media. Bunch of cowards. You don't like the look behind my eyes today. So I had to pack Juneteenth up in a box on my Juneteenth. Because the hard work and the effort, at the end of the day, besides the family that I loved, that took care of me and made sure I was straight, this is the end. On Saturday at 2:30, you will see the shortest acceptance speech ever given by somebody receiving an inaugural award for the awareness of an entire celebration program format that has ever been presented to the sixth largest municipality in Pennsylvania, and that's Upper Darby Township. Just like a council meeting, I will have less than 3 minutes. Yeah. You don't need to see my eyes. You don't need to know what I'm thinking. But I want you to rest your hats and your laurels and all of that and understand why. Why so much hate and denial from the township, public officials, in front of a township that I love, that I serve faithfully? Less than 3 minutes of speaking time. It's all planned. It's all strategic. I got the text message today. I got the phone calls today. I got the schedule. I got the rearrangement of a schedule. Did you get that email? Yeah, I got that email. Thank you. Is that okay? Yeah, sure. Sure. It's fine. See, that's what you have to do, boys and girls. See, when you start off in 2017, well, 2015, I got started off. But when you start off and actually make movements from that time, and time passes you by, people forget. It's true. People will forget you. And because the government has a brand new toy, and because you believe your government, and because you believe in your government, and you believe public officials, and you believe people with letters in front of their name and letters behind their name, but I'm telling you, none of those people fought for this holiday. None of them. None of them went with me when I went down to Washington, D.C. None of them went with me or appeared on Zooms for seminars to learn about the holiday. None of them had conversations of interest with people who were doing Juneteenth celebrations nationwide. And when I went before every public official, I was told, go ahead with that black stuff. We don't want it. And it shows. There's no America 250 Juneteenth. Even though we are still the bedrock of this nation, even through slavery, because of the simple fact is we were the labor, so we built the machines. So we made and cast the iron in the cannons. We were part of the fabric and the network. But people want to dismiss their heritage and their inheritance because you want to hold on to the victim story. We was once slaves, without realizing that you can pin together the fact that without the fact of the mechanism of slavery, does America would stand as a fortress like it does now. But because you allow people to keep you in a certain servitude, you're going to repeat the story of slavery instead of the story of freedom. Don't talk to me, please. I don't want to talk about slavery. I don't want to hear about slavery. It has a date. Slavery ended, just like the Declaration of Independence, right? On this date of independence, we declared our freedom from Great Britain. That settled it, right? That settles it. Of course, you still had to fight. Of course, you still came back for seconds in the War of 1812. Of course, those things happened because history still has to develop and empires still have to be reconstructed and self-destructed and reconstructed. But America didn't turn itself into a victim to the rest of the world and go, oh, the British beat us up so bad and left us with nothing. No, they said, oh, look at all this stuff they left us with and did something about it called repurposing. They repurposed the original intent of their suffering into an industrious labor and made it the strength of which they live on. That's American. And we as black people, free, indigenous, enslaved, are in that whole system and have access to that system. And not only have access to that system, but can replicate the same things within that system and still produce the same wealth without it being taken from you. Without it being taken from you. I need folks to understand. Juneteenth's in the box. You gonna celebrate the way you're gonna celebrate it? I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. Please don't debate me. I don't want to hear it no more. So tired of looking at posts of people who are not educated in anything, nevertheless, Juneteenth, and then want to ridicule somebody for going back and looking at American history from a different point of view and using that point of view to captivate an audience of people who may not want to listen for no other reason except we share the same history, and then create common bonds from out of that. But this hatefulness that everybody's got going, this is where my Juneteenth goes in a box. There's no need for me with Juneteenth anymore. The funny thing about this Upper Darby thing is that 2 days ago was the anniversary of the 2020 signing for that particular part by my former nonprofit, Tailor Made Vets. The irony is that with this coming full circle, everybody's saying, Rich, you should be happy. They're giving you something. How are you going to give me something? How are you going to give me something? What are you giving me? Seriously, what are you giving me? You were going to do it without acknowledgement. I said we could do this the easy way or the hard way. You waited to the last minute to send a letter. I said, you know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. You're giving me something that you say I deserve, that you didn't want, but then when you found out how to make a profit off of my people, now you want to give me an award for it. But then you want to change my schedule and change my itinerary. I want to say this very, very deeply to the people here over at Spark. I have an email from one of your board members where I expressed my discontent about how this event is being run, actually sloppy. It's the sloppiest piece of work I've ever seen by any organization I've had the pleasure of working with, and I've worked with a lot of organizations. They don't know what they're doing. Their banner all off the roof, where they're doing their construction at, all this other type stuff, man. It's just pure garbage. So at any rate, you want me to stop my itinerary for an event and a day that I helped create and brought to Delaware County. Shout out to Chester for teaching me about Juneteenth. Shout out to Chester, number one. Shout out to Chester. Shout out to Chester, number one. Chester is not included in the Juneteenth conversation I'm having with a question mark. Chester is included in Happy Juneteenth with an exclamation point, and I'm going to see y'all later on that day. This whole weekend I'm going to be in Chester, I promise you. Y'all going to see me in Chester. I ain't going to no other black place but this black city right here, and get some black love from my black people. They ain't advertised nothing, bro. Upper Darby Township ain't advertised nothing. Not even for the 4th of July. Their hatred of this country is not even funny, bro. And when you see your leadership constantly poisoning people and teaching them nothing but hate and hate and hate and hate, and then excluding them, and then you walk into a room full of these dusty ass immigrants from out of Bangladesh, and they want to tell you to shut up in your own country. Yeah, I said it. These dusty ass immigrants from out of Bangladesh, because that's what they are. I've seen them around. I know their names. I know who these people are. And they dusty as hell, because you can smell it in the room. And I ain't talking against nothing. You know, some of them wash. And anyway, some of them unwashed individuals decided to tell me in my own country to shut up in some chambers that is designed for a public forum or before the public meeting. If you have political discord, if you have human discord, or if you want to exchange some words with somebody, blah, 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 that's your time to talk. It's not church. It's not church. It's like being out in the atrium of a show, and where you're having conversations and multiple conversations are going on and the din is rising and you hear people's voices and stuff like that. So when you hear the bang of the gavel, that's when the room comes to order. And so any other conversation is supposed to cease, so that way the meeting can proceed as per the agenda. And I got these dusty ass people telling me to shut up because they don't realize the rules inside of this building to come to a meeting to constantly beg for shit and don't contribute nothing. See, this is why I keep wanting to say to you, Chester, and I hope that you utilize this for your Juneteenth and your reemergence and your phoenix and your rising. You do need to get with these businesses around here and make sure that they are contributing to your community. You do need to make sure that they understand the blackness of your city and the galvanizing of your city. And they do need to have more programs and more stuff accessible, because they getting money. And they taking that money that you give them and they enriching their families and sending money back home. Like we used to do when we worked up north and was down south, and we sent the money back home to enrich our families and buy land and build the houses. So when we were done with the north, we went back home in the south. Y'all don't get the stories, because you know why? Because you let people chase you from your inheritance out of your own country. They chase you off the mechanisms of how it really works and how it gets down, and tell you don't listen to people like me that had to soak and toil through the blood to get to this point. And you want to tell me to shut up. Okay, my Juneteenth's in a box. Everything that I've ever done. Yeah, it's in that box. Everything. Everything. All the proclamations, the medals, the awards, the pictures. It's boxed up, bro. Ain't nothing to talk about. They want to talk to these people over there. They want to hear from these people. They want to hear from them clowns. They want to talk to them clowns. They want them clowns. They want the bedtime story from them clowns for Juneteenth. That's what they want from them clowns. Go talk to them clowns. You can't see what's behind my eyes today, folks. You're not prepared for it. Here I am 2 days away from receiving this prestigious award from the 6th largest municipality in the state of Pennsylvania for an awareness, besides Chester, that went from the county seat, media. Shout out to our boy Eric Towns, bro. Shout out to, you know that's my guy, right? Mm-hmm. Here we all are doing the same doggone things, bro. And doing it well. Not stepping on each other's toes. Not knocking each other down. But I got to come here to Chester when I'm not going to be received in Upper Darby. Except for the people that love me. Except for the people that, support me online. The ones that can't make it. Shout out to all of my elderly folks that I know y'all can't make it, but always come through like the woo. Like y'all do. Y'all like I get more public support and sentiment from people who don't come from the diaspora, bro. Who aren't argumentative about my point of view because I brought the relevant part of history, the relevant part, not my opinion. Not my own passion and feeling about it. I do have my passion. They know when I talk about it. They know when I start going, in this direction. But when I want to talk to them, I keep it focused on how I know what their learning does for them. And what I do is plant a seed. Hey, we can agree on this part, right? We can agree on what happened in Georgia with, the burning of Georgia. We can agree on this, right? Hey, we can agree on Yellowstone Park, about the Buffalo Soldiers. And so that sprung from the United States colored regiments, the colored troops. That sprung from there. It had to be birthed from somewhere. Each thing had to be birthed somewhere. Something had to start. But people are acting like right now with what's going on this day and age that we just peaked and we're done. When there's been civilizations around for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years or so, and they looking at us like y'all peak it. This is your peak. This is your peak. You know why they think that they peaking? Because they plateaued at a place where people keep them in the mindset of slavery. If somebody walks up to you and say that June 19th, 1865 was the ending of slavery, tell them they are a bullshitting liar. It is a fixed date in history for Galveston, Texas, that the General Order Number 3 was read before the slaves in Galveston, but we still had to fight to free other people. We still had to invoke a treaty with the Cherokee and the Choctaw tribes and the 5 nations, okay, to get the other half of our people a whole year later, June 19th, 1866, folks. So before you start clapping yourself on the back, make sure you know exactly that you did not just end at this date. This is just a fixed date in history like the 4th of July. But it did not end. We still had some fighting to do. And guess what? Our ancestors didn't give up like you. They didn't quit like you. because they didn't allow somebody to call them a slave anymore. When they became free and somebody called them a slave, they say what they say. I was free. I'm not no slaves. I was free. And they meant that, and they said it with their chest. Y'all free talking about you still slaves. Huh? Huh? Ain't nobody chaining you up to bed. Ain't nobody got no cowbells around your neck. Ain't nobody whipping you ass up to wake up in the morning. Don't you go to school? Hold on. Don't you go to school? Because I come from a time where I had grandparents who could not go to school. As far as they got 6th, 7th grade, y'all going to college, but you a slave? You from the ancestry of slavery, but you own a car? You from the ancestry of slavery, but you buying a house? You from the ancestry of slavery, but you can buy stock? You from the ancestry of slavery, but you can get on an airplane? Slaves couldn't do that. Slaves couldn't travel freely. Slaves needed a note. Master says, I got to go down to the Johnson farm and I got to come back before the sun goes down. Here's the pass. Do you got to keep your eyes downcast in front of the white man when you're talking to him? Or do you do that out of respect because that's in your DNA anyway? Oh, shut, Mr. Johnson. I know we gonna be all right in this company. I'm gonna be a lot of shucking and jiving this weekend, a lot of jigabooing, bro. I don't have time for it no more. These people in Upper Darby Township must think that I'm just going to be one of them silly jokes that they want to play with this award. 5 minutes. Not even. To address attendees, my family, my friends. Less than 5 minutes. Your inaugural Juneteenth award. Your first one given to the person who's responsible for bringing you the celebration, bro. Make it make sense. And I'm just going to go, oh, I'm so happy to get this award. It's the nicest thing that you've just done for me. I appreciate that all of these years of you saying that I wasn't shit, that you giving me something. You can't see my eyes tonight. You won't be able to deal with it. They say there's a demon in everybody, but not me. But you can't see the light that's going to come from my eyes because you can't dare to look me in my face because I'm going to spit the truth. So you can't handle this today. You can't handle the years of the doors being slammed in your face. You can't handle the pressures of losing friends who have decided that because these people over here said, if you friends with Rich Blye, you can't be friends with us. And they made that choice and walked away from me while I was on this journey that for this holiday that y'all gonna celebrate without substance or context. You're gonna give praise to people who had nothing to do with it. You're going to clap for people who told you to hate the person that advocated for it, that prayed for it, that got knocked down for it, that got arrested for it, that lost 2 sons to murder for it, that lost his father and his mother and his grandmother all through that and still had to stand up and go and speak. and still had to go and perform the ceremony, not just in the first year, but 2 years straight without grieving correctly. Yes, I did grieve, but not correctly. Which is why my trauma and my pain and my thing is different, because everything that was done to me publicly because of Juneteenth, I give it right back to each and every one of y'all publicly and say, this is the reason why. Because you're not going to point fingers at me and say, oh, he did this to himself. No, this is the byproduct of what your government officials, past and current sitting government officials, did to me in your face while you sat back and you laughed. But you're going to celebrate Juneteenth without context or substance and not knowing how it goes, because Upper Darby Township is going to tell you that the person that brought the awareness is only worth 3 minutes. I don't see where the support is from my brothers and sisters. If I was gay as shit, y'all be hollering. If I was a female, what, you mad? What, you mad? I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about whoever's going to look at this joint. What, you mad? What, you mad? You gonna be mad all day. And you can see me in public, and I'll say it again. If I were gay as shit, you would be thanking me. If I was woman, you'd be congratulating me. Three minutes. Changed itinerary. You okay with that, sir? You okay with changing your life to accommodate us for a celebration that you helped put together and brought to light? And by the way, you only got 3 minutes. Did you see the email? That's how the conversation went. Did you see the email? Cold, bro. Cold. Ain't no life to this. It is the most professional, unprofessional voice that I've ever heard in my lifetime. And I've dealt with so many corporate people, and I've dealt with so many people from so many different corporation sponsorships and all types of stuff. And when I tell you that I got the fakest one ever in the past 5 years that I've been dealing with people, this one was the most fakest, because again, if you analyze the lettering, if you analyze the timing, and you look at the precision of it, and you look how certain things are laid out, I told you about your government. They are see-through and they are transparent, and when they do stuff, you can look and pinpoint the flaws of what they do. And most of this stuff is AI generated. It's so much garbage to it, it's not even funny. It's not even a thought process to it, so it has no passion. But you're going to go clap for these passionless people about the proclamation instead of the law. Nah. I'll keep the law in the box with my name on it. Ain't no sense in digging that out. They ain't interested in that, bro. They're not interested in how that gets done. They think that everybody gave this box to me. Here go box of goodies, Rich. Now go play. Go be a nice little boy. Happy Juneteenth, question mark. I'm supposed to be satisfied with a township that basically hated my guts in anything that I was supposed to do. And here I am thinking that they're going to do the right thing and just give me enough time to talk to a crowd of people and try to inspire them and talk about what it takes in order to get to certain heights despite certain obstacles, and have the time to do it. And it's your inaugural one. How many minutes do you think, folks, that you should give to someone who not only brought the awareness, campaigned for the awareness, suffered through the awareness, was triumphant through the awareness, and waited for the township where you got started to finally come to their senses for the awareness to honor you? How much time do you think you should give that person? You know what standard and mandatory for honorees? 8.5 to 15 minutes. Standard. 8.5 to 15 minutes. But see, folks, they also know that you can change minds and change hearts and change perceptions. They know that if you get in front of certain people, that if you talk to them long enough, you can inspire them. They don't want any inspiration. They want the sponsorship. They want their photo op. And they want to pat me on the back and say, good job, like a good little boy. You can't see what's behind my eyes today, folks, but happy Juneteenth ? Because I'm going to have to bite my tongue and grit my teeth this whole weekend when I listen to people try to tell me about the colors. When I listen to people try to tell me about the history. When I listen to people tell me that I got it wrong. But my whole Juneteenth is in the box. Everything I've written down, everything I've ever wrote, every meeting I've ever gone to, every ticket I've ever purchased, every invoice that I've ever done for every celebration is in this box. To be told in your own country by a bunch of dusty immigrants to shut up. But I'm going to celebrate freedom with people who think that they're slaves. You can't serve two masters, black people. Either you're a slave or you free. Which one is it? And if you're going to be free, then be free. And if you're going to be free, act free. And if you want to be free, join in unity. Stop crying. Our ancestors, when they fought in this civil war, did not cry like y'all. Even the weakest among us is the strongest right now. The weakest amongst them would be the strongest amongst us right now, because that person would have the heart. So tired of these heartless men, bro. Heartless. Yellow, spineless, gutless. Simp ass niggas, bro. Simp. Don't want to join the struggle, but they want to put you down when you sitting out there in the trenches, but claim they want to support you. Listen, I ain't forget. I can't wait. Man, listen, do me a favor. This weekend, I probably will be into some spirits, if you understand what I mean. And I will probably say some stuff that has been on my mind for a long time with a lot of people, bro. And this ain't no bitterness type of thing. This is frustration for real. Because before I go before people and try to present myself with these fake ass smiles in front of these fake ass people about this fake ass thing that they trying to do to me fake and give me nothing. Nothing. See, this is how men like us die and get lost to history. They take everything that we created. They take everything that we persevered to get. They take it and then they layer us by telling you, the people, hate that man. Why? You don't even know why you hate me. You don't even know why. Oh, you talk too much. Oh, the men around me don't talk enough. Oh, you always doing too much. The men around me don't do enough. Why don't you question that? Why don't you question why they don't do enough? Why don't you question why they don't show up? Why don't you question why they don't take out the trash? When I'm working and whatnot, and I'm doing events, I always see the women take out the trash. These lazy ass dudes, they don't take out no trash. Scared of the trash. But will make a mess, but you scared of the trash. A man that don't take out the trash, to me, is a person that is absolutely weak, bro. Mind, body, and spirit. You don't understand. You getting rid of the refuse, you're the person getting rid of the evidence. You're making sure that there's no trace of a mess that's left by your family so that way you can't be tracked, dummy. There's methodology to what we did on the way back from these places of slavery into these places of freedom and into these places of technology where you don't think you got to do nothing but press a button now. The mediocrity about this holiday needs to cease. Y'all need to pick a side. Y'all going to be free or you going to be slaves? You gonna go with the slave story, or you gonna go with the freedom story? The freedom story talks about inventions. The story talks about breaking down color barriers and breaking down racial barriers and fighting Jim Crow. The freedom story is revolution. The freedom story is the Black Panther Party. The freedom story is the people that push the needle that we are here, that we are prevalent, and that this is our history and this is our story. We are the backbone of a nation. I keep talking about these inventions. The same inventions that were invented after the Civil War are still in play today. They are just updated from other patents, but the basis of these items that are in American history started out from black people. The world didn't send inventions to us. We sent inventions out to the world. Your creative process, children, the ancestors' creative process, because they put their imagination to work. They didn't TikTok it. They didn't have mommies and daddies that just let you go out here and jigaboo and dance all up in front of the camera. They let you take that ADHD, DDHD, or whatever imagination that you got and put it to good use. That hyper sensual sense of yourself, but you know you can put it together, because I can tell you right now, I know a kid that was labeled that and he's now a Marine. You got to know how to direct energy. Your children are of the sun. They're powered. You have to empower them. You have to embed inside of them the value of your ancestry in order to make them go in the right direction of go. Not this destructive wantonness of dressing up like ninjas in the street. Get your kids out of this muppetry. Stop making your kids look like Fry Guys and put some color on them. Put some oranges on them. Put some greens on them. Put some blues on them. Stop dressing them in all black. Stop it. We have to change. The world is resetting, my friends, this year. It's a reset. Don't you get it? You don't feel it? You're not looking at it? You don't see the signs? You claim to have the knowledge. You can't see what's behind my eyes today. It's too powerful for you. You're not going to like it. Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to come in here and yell like that. My bad. But my Juneteenth's in a box. There's nothing more to teach, bro. There's no need to tell people what I've done and how I did it. There's no more need for it, bro. They don't want it. No need to force it. These kids don't want it. The adults don't want it. Everybody been correcting me, bro. Nobody's been like, excuse me, not my family, not the people I know that love me, but I'm getting corrected. And I'm looking at people like, dude, you just found out about this yesterday. But you want to tell me from my experience and from everything that I've gone through in order to get to this point of 250 years of celebrating this quincentennial, and the people that celebrating PA Delco, America Delco, PA. I can't even say it because we ain't even been part of it. No money. They getting a lot of money, bro. They getting a boatload of cash. They already posed with the check and everything, bro. They already closed up the time capsule, so we late. Ain't nothing going in the time capsule to mark us that we were here. Nothing. So, like I said, they can change the narrative now, because everybody going to jump on the boat what the politicians say instead of where it came from the people. Because no, the politicians say that, and we could do this, and they say, like, it's this post. Hold on, it's this post, bro, and I'm gonna share it. This guy said that some black organization says it's okay for us to put the Juneteenth flag and have it synonymous with the Marcus Garvey movement. And I said, bullshit. The Marcus Garvey movement was central about going back to Africa. The Juneteenth celebration is about the freedom of Galveston, Texas. Two different things. Two different things. You cannot equate what Marcus Garvey, what he did, to what happened in Galveston, Texas. I'm not decreasing Marcus Garvey and his efforts, but their link in the Disparia is just based upon the opinions of what people and what they wanted and the choices that they wanted to make. This is why you have the country of Liberia, because freed Africans who were here in America approached President James Monroe and said, we want to go back to our homeland, but we have no place to go. So America said, hey, we're going to create that and carve out some land. You know, people still already there, of course, again, you know, the indigenous people there. But there you have Liberia. And what color is the Liberian flag? Red, white, and blue with stripes and a star. You don't know your history. You don't know your reasons why. You don't understand your reasons why. All you're going to say is this. All you're going to say is that. Because, yes, they heap upon you the hate, the hate, the hate. Yeah, we know it's there. But you ain't suffered through desegregation, folks. Tell me about it. Tell me what it's like. Please tell me. You don't know what it's like. Shut up. Some of y'all create these scenarios. Some of y'all create these victim things because nobody can't say nothing to you. This is why my Juneteenth is in a box. Because nobody can't say nothing to you. Nobody can talk to you. Nobody can have a conversation with you. You're so quick to put somebody down about what they accomplished and where they've been and how they did it. And anybody could have done it. And if anybody could have done it, why didn't they do it? If anybody could have done this, why didn't they do it? Why for so many years of knowing about Juneteenth? Oh, I knew about Juneteenth. I knew about that. Well, why didn't you do it? Ain't nobody. Ain't okay. But you mad at me for doing something? You want to put me down for speaking? I found a niche that works, that's positive, and everybody getting fed off this bread now, though, dog, right? Everybody getting fed off this bread, though. All the Delco. I ain't seeing nothing coming across my Cash App. I don't see no checks. I don't see no endorsements. I don't see no company sponsorships saying, hey, this man is doing something for us and we about to get this bread. So my Juneteenth's in a box. Don't ask me no questions.
But they only pay the people that they know will keep quiet. And you don't keep quiet. And you're for the people. And when you're for the people, you're not supposed to keep quiet. You're supposed to give the information to the people so the people can dissect and go the way we should go. But they don't want to put no money in your hand. That's empowering you. That's letting you know that you're doing the right thing. Nah, they'll let you struggle and figure it out. All right?
Yeah, I know. But with that being said, everybody, happy Juneteenth, question mark. I'll be watching. Listen, I'm going to say just like this, bro. I can't tell people how they should feel or how they should celebrate this. That's not why I'm here. I want people to understand that before you start patting people on the back about giving you a leg up in your legacy, in your history, know who they are. Know who really cared about you. Know that a man had to be broken in order for you to be happy. No, just know. I just want them to know that much. A man had to be broken in order for you to be happy, and you're looking at him. So you can't see what's behind my eyes. You can't see what's in my eyes. You can't handle it today. You can't handle it today. You'll blame me for how I'm feeling without realizing that the very people you gonna clap for told you to hate me and not show me any love and not give me any consideration and not support my efforts and let me suffer and let me come out of my own pocket. Like I said, I threw comedy shows. I threw whatever it took, bro, to bring awareness for this, to bring people out. And they shut me all the way down. And now they're giving me 3 minutes on a Saturday afternoon. I got to change my itinerary for somebody else. Yeah, bro. My Juneteenth's in the box, bro. I can't. I'm not for sale. I'm not a puppet. I'm not nobody's lapdog. I'm no step and fetch it. I don't do none of that shit. You got me fucked up. I've been nice. I've been real cordial about this shit. But after yesterday's events and seeing that they really don't give a fuck, bro, neither do I. Neither do I. I got to change my life to accommodate somebody else. You don't understand the plans I had with my family. If I get something, you know me, Bryce. If something's scheduled, I say, hey, bro, what's scheduled? We got this at this time. We got this at that time. Da, da, da. All right, I'm going to be here for this. I'm going to be here at that time. Boom, it happens. That's the way it's supposed to be amongst men. But they don't see me as that. They don't see me as that at all. And then going to get mad because I'm speaking freely about how I feel. Then going to get mad. Hold on, watch this. They're going to get mad because I'm speaking freely about how I feel instead of coming there and acting a fool. Nah, bro. I'll show up. But my Juneteenth is in a box. See you on the flip side.